Meet the Pwnagotchi, a small, cute and harmless virtual pet on the outside, when inside it is actually much more, I guess, violent. It is a Wi-Fi packet sniffer that can capture Wi-Fi authentication packets and kick users from the Wi-Fi access points. Not only that, but it has many cool plugins that it can install, cool face, as well as stats that it can display. And also it is completely open source. So what is the goal of theirs? The goal of the Pwnagotchi is to get Wi-Fi password keys. I really liked recording this video, which I can tell because this introduction was shot after I have recorded the whole video, which is also entirely unscripted, almost, as I always do. Besides the introduction, this one, and the introduction of the next video. So, have fun! Hi everyone, and today we are actually going to build something very cool, which is a Pwnagotchi or Pwnagotchi or however you wanna call it. I don't really know how to pronounce it, really. So what will we actually need for that? Well, firstly, we're going to need some sort of a small computer, so to say, or in other words, a microcontroller, which is, for me, a Raspberry Pi 02W. You will also need some sort of the memory place where you will store data on this microcontroller, because this is like a microcomputer. Here I have, if you can see it, which is SDXC, but this is not really SDXC. This is like a small micro SD card, which also comes often with an adapter for the SDXC. Something like this, or this, which is almost what I have, but I have 32 gigabytes, which is plenty for this project. Not only that, but we will also actually need a display. You don't specifically need to have a display or the same kind of computer module, but it is mostly the best to do because this is the one that are mostly supported for this project. And if you just want to follow along, but let's say I am a newbie too, so that will be really cool to test. And also, display is really cool because this is kind of the thing that you will see every single time without even connecting to computer. Something like this. It's really cool. This is e-paper or e-ink display. It's very cool. It should look almost like a paper, but I don't know, we will see. And what we also will need to have is a battery. You don't really need to have it. You can also carry power bank with you all the time, but this is something that I will do. And I have picked up here a PiSugar 2 or 3. I don't really know which one is this, but this is like a battery with also UPS functions, which is really cool because of which I will be also to use it for other things other than just a battery to play with. And the display is, you probably can see it, I hope. This is waveshare e-paper display with 4th version. Here. Camera. Why can't you focus? And we have also other connection which we can also use here, but which we will not use because we have pins output which we can also get right in here. This is actually, I think, everything we will need for this video, for this project. But for this, I wanted actually to say a couple of things about this video, which is firstly, this video is entirely unscripted, other than actually this section. This section is a little scripted, so I know what to say, because I'm a little bad, you can say, at doing this stuff. And before the start of the video, I wanted to make something really clear, to give an intention, which is this video is made only for learning purposes. And if you want to do this too with Pwnagotchi, or however it is called, do it only on your risk. This is a cool utility, especially for learning cybersecurity, but you should use it only for the networks you are allowed to test it on. And now you may ask, why? What are we actually doing with Pwnagotchi? Today I'm going to do this only on my network to test how it works, and after that I think I will use this Raspberry Pi for other projects. We will see. So firstly, we have handshakes. How will this work? I don't really know that myself, really, because I'm just starting out to use it, but as far as I know, it works like that. When there's like a device, for example, our laptop or our PC or a phone, something with Wi-Fi connectivity, that will connect to our router, which is authenticator in this case. And our device that we want to connect to router will be supplicant. We have PM key, which is a password, like a master key, like here it means. And when we want to connect to router, we need to make a handshake as a sort to say, hey, I am a computer, hey, I am a server. There is a four-way handshake that tests whether every single thing is true, and when it is, it says, bum, you are allowed to connect. The password matches, everything is fine. Now, what will we do? We will be actually a middleman of attack. This is really cool if you think about it. But also it is quite an old technology as far as I know. Our Pwnagotchi will de-authenticate in some sort all of the users that are on the network so that they will need to connect back to the router. And here you will be seeing what now will happen. Now they will try to authenticate back, which is sending this for handshake. And with our Raspberry Pi, the small Raspberry Pi that will be our Pwnagotchi, we will actually just sniff for these packages, because inside those handshakes we can actually then get away with, and probably with sniffing we can perform like dictionary attacks or brute force attack to crack the handshakes and recover the original Wi-Fi key, which means we can get the password key of the Wi-Fi in the end. And this is why we actually will need to do this only on our networks. Even if you will not use these passwords, this is something that is worth considering, because also the authentication means that you basically turn off on all almost devices the internet connection so that they reconnect back. And yeah, this is something that will work. I am no expert by this by any means. I am just starting this out, like probably you, but with a little more knowledge, because I wanted to sit here like a dumb and not understand anything about this. So back to Pwnagotchi. This is actually an older Pwnagotchi, which also uses AI learning, so as more as you get those informations of Wi-Fi's, some like Tamagotchi works like a pet, but as more as you feed the information into it, the more probability that it will in some sort crack the password. And you don't actually need even all 4 packets, like I can say, for handshakes to sniff all of that stuff, because it can sometimes even with single packet be. It depends also on the password, how protected is the password, because some passwords are just plain passwords that come from the router, and this is really easy to actually connect to, even with just dictionary attacks. This is something that, we will have a list of all the passwords that we have, password 1, password 2, password 3, and then we will just basically try put it in, see if it works or not. I think this is right. I hope, at least. But for today we'll use a different fork of this Pwnagotchi, which is Pwnagotchi.org. Because, if you go right now here to Pwnagotchi GitHub, you will see that the last time it updated was on April 18, 2021, when today is 2025. And right now we will do the other one, which can also do with other Raspberry Pis. And this is a community image, what I was talking about. something that we will install on the Pwnagotchi, which is much newer version. And if you see, this actually made on January 27th, which is this even year, so this is really great, especially. Now let's get to started and learn how to install it. Pwnagotchi. Pwnagotchi is a Raspberry Pi powered AI Wi-Fi sniffing tool that learns over time how to be most effective at capturing Wi-Fi handshakes. As a small single board, pages, ports, connecting, customizing. Here, installation for Raspberry Pi. How to know which is? Yeah, this is from the same guy, from the same person, which means that we can just install this, which is good. Step 4, installation for Raspberry Pi. And we will need to install an image on this Raspberry Pi. Okay. The Raspberry Pi 02W, 3, 4, and 5. The Raspberry Pi 02W, 3, 4, and the 5 are multi-core boards. They are all 64-bit devices. For me, I have currently the Raspberry Pi 2W, H. H means just that it's soldered already with pins and nothing more, really. This can also run 32-bit software, but it's valid to use 64-bit software to make full use of the hardware. Make sure to download the latest 64-bit image file. Now we will go back to this one. We can already close this one, actually. It's basically the release. And we will download the 64-bit image.exe, which weighs 1.14 gigabytes. And let's download it. Save file. And now it's downloading. Now we will go here, and now we will need to flash our image file with Raspberry Pi software, which is Raspberry Pi Imager. I don't think I have it. No, I don't have it. And right now I'm copying the Pwnagotchi, the disk that we have installed in the download folder. And now I'm going to install actual Raspberry Pi Imager. We can choose the language, which is English. In our case, I accept the GNU license, which I have already read multiple of times. And launch it. Okay, we'll now choose our board, which is Raspberry Pi 02W. And we'll use the different operating system. Here, Pwnagotchi. Now we will open that, and we need to choose a device. Which device will it be? We actually will connect the mini SD card to the computer and use it there. There's a small problem though, which I already forgot about. My computer doesn't have this port, which means that I'm going to go now on my another laptop and do it there, and I will be back in a second for you at least. You will see that I have currently this card, and now I will get the micro SD card from here outside, and we will connect it back to the Raspberry Pi, and I don't even know how to make it so that you will see it. And so that I will also connect it correctly. I think that should go inside. Yep, that is inside. That is correct. Now I will place this adapter back somewhere there. And this is all that we need right now. Currently I have done this. Now let's get back to our wiki. We have said no, and then we are going actually to connect. Step 2, preparations. In order to make the first connection to your Pwnagotchi, we need to prepare your computer to know how to locate your Pwnagotchi. It supports OTG, which I don't know what it actually is, but fine, which requires a data USB cable. Okay. You now have an SD card with Pwnagotchi flashed onto it. Put the SD card in the appropriate slot of your Raspberry Pi. If you have a Pi 0W or Pi 02W, connect the micro USB side to the port closest to your HDMI port and insert the USB-I side into your computer. Pi 3 look yeah, this is differently Pi 3 authentically connect with couple to your internet. Skip to connecting. Okay. Now back to here. We have firstly here an HDMI, and here we have two micro USB cards. USB cards? Micro USB ports. There is a small problem, which is that if you will see here, I don't think you will see here. It basically writes down here, but focus is so great so that you will not be able to see anything at all. What is this? Basically, this is for power only, and this is for the data transfer. And we need to connect the data transfer one, which is the closest to HDMI, which is this, to computer, so that we can configure it and customize it. I am going to get the micro USB now, because I hated that every single Raspberry Pi has different ports and all of that stuff. I am back and I have found the micro USB cable. Oh, and also, did you know that there are currently also 3 HDMIs, which is micro HDMI, which is the newest Raspberry Pi has, mini HDMI, which I didn't know, which this one uses, which I don't have at all, and the normal HDMI. Cool. So we will need to connect, oh my god, how do I rotate this? To the closest to HDMI port, so that we have data transfer to the computer. And I will connect it. I don't know how I should show it to you. Bruh, how should I show it to you? So I have connected it. There's a small problem too. My mouse is connected to the single USB-A port that I have, and the camera is also the USB-A port, which means I don't have ports, which means I need to disconnect my mouse and connect to the back port, which will take a while, so I will pause this video. Now that I have connected it, the mouse I mean, I can connect Raspberry Pi 0 to WH to my computer. I have connected it. Now you can see the LED flashing. It only flashes actually when you install the operating system, so if it doesn't flash for you, it means probably that your operating system hasn't been flashed correctly, which is good to know, especially if you don't even know whether the Raspberry Pi that came to you is working or not. And why do I know this? Well, because this is not first time that I do this. Because in previous time I wanted to do this, I just wanted to test if it even works with the display, and I couldn't attach this one to pins because it's so hard to do, and I bent really hardly this pins, and there were some scratches on this thing, because of which I will say do this really gently, and if you can't do this, give to someone else to do this, because it gets really hard really easy and you can break some things. So right now what we're gonna do, we need to install RNDIS server, because right now we are connecting actually this using micro USB port. It isn't an internet port or anything. And well, to communicate with this Raspberry Pi at least, as a Wi-fi-sniffer, you can call it like that, and package sniffer for Wi-Fi, well, we will need actually to install drivers so that we'll even this ports that we connected to right now, micro USB, will think that it has USB internet connection. And so that we will be able to communicate with our Raspberry Pi. For this, we need to install this following driver. And that save file. I will open this. Download and unpack zip the following folder. It doesn't really say you to do anything with this file, but I guess. My god, I will need to blur everything here away, because this file is somewhere here. Do I need to install? I have clicked install by button on the .inf file. I think this is right. For the file, right click and press install. Yeah, oh my god, thanks. It said here already. Alternatively, in your device manager, look for the following. Alternatively, okay, fine. Okay, assigning interface IP and interface sharing. Open control panel. And then I need to go to network and internet. Then I need to go view network status and tasks. Here, change adapter settings. Here, right click the device with the subtitle USB Internet RNDIS gadget, which is here. Then properties. Double click the TCP IPv4 and we can then configure. Configure like below. To share internet to Pwnagotchi, open the control panel menu as above. Select your main internet adapter, Wi-Fi adapter. Right click properties of the shared IPv4 and connect the same way. Okay. So I don't need to do this the way that my internet goes, because it doesn't start with 10 but 192, but fine. And also the mask, subnet mask 0. No, okay. Close the remaining menus. To share internet to Pwnagotchi, open the control panel menu as above. Okay, that means that we need to enable control panel. Then go back to network and internet, view network and status and tasks, change adapter settings, and then we need to go right here. Select your main adapter, which is Wi-Fi internet. Right here. Internet, right click properties, open the sharing tab. This. And you enable the topic button and select the new internet adapter Pwnagotchi system. Select the new internet adapter that Pwnagotchi is using. Internet 3. This is right. Okay. I think that's fine. Now connecting. I prefer SSH to connect it. Will also stimulate me to learn how to use Linux and Linux will also with SSH. Okay, this is something that I at least am good at. At least I think so. At least really I think so. Let's just SSH SSH pi. Okay, the default one is pi and then turn .0.0.2. Wait, what? 10.0.0.2. I don't know what is happening right now. Now I'll go back here and I will turn this off and back on. I know this isn't really ideal and it's warm also. We can now perhaps try to, I know we should wait probably. Internet cable. Type SSH pi. I have even copied here. And now I paste it. And it doesn't seem to work. What is happening? Nothing works. It's so weird. I don't know. It could not find it. Well, IPv4. It's not now got a whole different IP address, which I thought it will also get, which is something completely different. Connection refused on port 22, and this is a question why. 192.168.137 and .1. I think I've got it. So if you have the same problem, what I have done, let me just make this a little clearer. You will go to the internet with the RNDIS gadget, which is our Raspberry Pi. you will go here, IPv4, and the IP address, at least for me, changed for some reason. Now I have placed it back to where it normally was, like here. I just made OK, close. We can close this. And now if I try to SSH into Pi with 10.0.0.2, you will see that I get the authenticity of host, but it can be established. Now we will say yes to connect to it. And now we need to write the password. What is the password is what I will need to see here. Do not run apt-get upgrade. If you do, you will need to refresh and start over. Good to know. Confirm security by entering yes, and enter the default, which is Raspberry. Okay, Raspberry. Yep, it's right. And here we are, Pwnagotchi. Hi, I'm Pwnagotchi, version 2.9.5.3. Please take care of me. This rhymes even. Here's some basic things you need to know to raise me properly. It has also configuration files in /etc/pwnagotchi/config.toml, like almost any application on Linux, which you will install that comes with config file. All plugin config files are located in /pwnagotchi config.d, and read the readme if you want to use G-Drive Sync plugin, which I don't know even what it is, but fine. All the configurations can be found in default.toml. This is really good that it even says that. Now, after we have connected to it, we can actually go to the next section, which is the section 3, step 3 configuration. You can actually configure also, as far as I know, and then connect, but we are going to do it like that. The same way it is here. And I think my internet broke because of it. Yeah, I don't have an internet connection anymore. But I have connection with Pwnagotchi. That's cool. Which means I will read it from my laptop. This is bad because you will not be able to see it, but I think I will edit it anyway. I hope at least, because I don't know, we will see. So we'll get to the step 3, which is a configuration. So, okay, configuring your Pwnagotchi. Pwnagotchi works on a default configuration, which you can customize to your liking. The default configuration file can be found at /etc/pwnagotchi/defaults.toml. How can you navigate here? This is basically a Linux. So we are right now in Pwnagotchi, just normal directory of it. The here $sign, not $sign, this, which means like in home directory. Now we will gonna go in the directory that it says us, but we will not cd because cd is change directory. We will see. Do we have? We can use nano, which is easier to use for people probably, but I will use vi, which is like vim, and we will open the /etc/pwnagotchi/defaults.toml, and I can press tab to autocomplete. No, there is nothing there. Wait, what? /etc/pwnagotchi. Default toml. Here it is. Toml. Yeah. I don't know. Did I write something wrong there? Okay, fine. And we can change the name. We can change it to be something different. Changing a read-only file. Wait. We need to sudo vi. And if you want to quit without changes, you press this column, and then after you press this, Q to quit without it saves with this. Fine. I think better to use nano so everybody could follow along. Sudo nano. Now we are here. Main.name we can change probably. This is just name, I think, but we will stick to whatever it says. As mentioned, you can customize your Pwnagotchi with a custom config file. You can do easily when you have an SSH connection made. I do have. New user-friendly wizard. We do have a wizard here. which we can also run. And we will not need to do anything right here because this is a default. It will not change anything. So this is great. You don't need to, oh my god, to do anything. You can just do sudo Pwnagotchi / wizard. Do you want to restore the previous configuration? File store this and okay. Do you want to restore previous? No, because I don't have a previous one. This will your new configuration file and override your current backup. Are you sure? Yep, I am sure. Now, no such file or directory. My name is Felony. How may I call you? Let's say Pwnagotchi. I don't know. Or how should I call myself? Pwnagotchi. Let's be it like that. I should go by Pwnagotchi from now on. How many networks do you want to whitelist? We will also ask a MAC for each network. Each SSID and BSSID count as one network. Be sure to use digits as your answer. Amount of networks. Whitelist. What does it mean? Does it mean that it will only get to those networks? If yes, this is exactly what I want to do because I don't want to use Pwnagotchi outside of my network. Okay, so yeah, I think it is that. I'm not that sure, but I think it is true. So, amount of networks which will be our whitelist, which means that will be able to be sniffed packet, which, in other words, from which Raspberry Pi our Pwnagotchi, or however you want to call it, will be able to take packages, sniff packages out, which will be one because I only have one network here. I could theoretically later on add some more, but let's do it like that. My internet connection network, I don't know if I will want to specify it so that everyone knows. Books, BSSID. Why do we need MAC? MAC of the Wi-Fi, okay. The Wi-Fi address. Does it really need to have a Wi-Fi address? I think so. Don't enable Bluetooth tethering. Oh, this is, I think, something it could be cool, but I don't really know what it is. Bluetooth tethering. If you want to use your Pwnagotchi on the go, you can use a Bluetooth tethering connection. This way you can connect to the internet without needing a Wi-Fi connection. To do this, enter the following command while connecting over SSH. We can try. What name uses your phone? Check settings. Okay, now I'll take my phone, I guess. I think I will not do this. Interrupt this and then do this over again. Why? Because I forgot that I have seen someone do this one time because I really wanted to watch, so I know just by anything what should I even do. I can't do anything without knowing because it's not how my brain works. And whenever you do this, you lose the connection on here for some reason, I think. I guess, and I want to do everything for now, for this day on the computer. Then I will do Bluetooth tethering for me. Do you want to enable a display? Yep, I do. I haven't enabled it yet. Be sure to check the correct display type. Okay, great. I don't have an internet connection, so I'll check it really fast on laptop. I think this is just a waveshare _4 because there's a fourth version of the e-ink e-paper hat, and this is the one that is the most supported, so I think they will call it like that. We will see, but wait, have I written this right? Waveshare _4. Yep. By type. Do you want to invert the display colors, be it black background or white background? Sometimes I love when the background is getting into my eyes. I don't know. I think I will use the white background because it just looks cooler for some reason. I don't know. I will use the white one. Don't judge me. The configuration is done and it will restart in 5 seconds. That's great. I will lose now the SSH connection, I think. Or is it just withered? Has it restarted and I haven't lost any connection? Really? Well, I don't know if it was wizard or whatever. And I will real quick, I need to change to my camera because there's one problem. I have turned on off also my camera, so I need to check whether it works or not. We're back. Now you see my Raspberry Pi, but it doesn't have what exactly? It doesn't have a display and it doesn't have a battery. First you will need to add a battery, which I have learned by the hard way, breaking pins, because I needed to put it back and in and first time, and I sincerely hope this time it will work out. So I will turn it off. We'll go back here and I just will shut down. Now. Or can I just? How should I turn off the Pwnagotchi? What if sudo power off? Connection refused. I think it's turned off. So now I will just go, I think, and I will try to add a battery and all that stuff, which battery we will do all together. And I fear that I will need help with display. Here is our battery, which is in fact on a magnet. This is also the board with the UPS support, and also that shows actually the battery percentage and on and off battery, which you can turn off, and it shows how much battery you have here with LEDs, which you probably can't see because it can't focus for some reason. Great. How to connect it is actually really easy. So far I know it has this little things on the back, which are really cool. They connect, so to say, to the back where you have this like pins, and these pins go back. You see you have here also just pins coming out, and this is the thing, they will connect to them, and I will get the output and input, so I will be able to connect it. Bam. And now it is like that, but I need to screw it in because there's a place to screw them in, I guess. And we have some screws in the box of it. I hit the computer. No, I will just get it out from here. And my hands are always shaky as hell. Boom. My god, I can't fit it in there. It's weird. Oh, and also, I have already actually taped this tape away, because there is like an orange tape on all of these things. You need to go get rid of them, because else the screws will not get inside. And it works! Woo! One screw is already in. And now it will be much easier to do everything. The other one will be diagonally placed, so right here. And now it gets inside. Yippee! Yippee! And it is inside. 2 screws are already in, which means everything else should be very smooth. And also, I don't know about that, but this is great that I have turned it off, because here are the pins, and they have always the power, I think. And when it's turned off, can't you actually with screwdriver, because it's also a metal, cause some problems with your Raspberry Pi? Because these pins are also metal, and if you collide them, then they will here it is, and this is cool. Isn't it only me or what, but it looks like a bomb? This looks entirely as if a bomb in the movies, like, you know, especially from the side. I would not love to carry it like that to somewhere on the outside. And now everything is fine. You can even, like, because it's on the magnets, you can also like take it like this. And there we have it. Everything is inside, which is really cool. And the next thing which we will need to do is actually to, here we have the pins, and here we have this holes for pins, and then we need to connect them. And this is the thing that is the hardest to do, and I think I will give to someone else to do this. And I want to see whether all holes align, and I think they do. And when we press, we need to press on the sides, not on the center or anything, because else you can break. But I can't do it by any means. Because of this, I'm going to get some extra help. I am back. Now with help, it is almost inside. Or it is fully inside, I don't know, we will see, but it looks right now like this. This is not something I would like to show off, like, here, look, I have a cool thing, do you want to have it? Take it. We will see if this works. I really hope that it works. And good question is, how do you turn it off? Because I don't know at all. I think you turn it off somewhere here, because there are buttons. But it is actually something that I need to check, because I don't know. And why do I need two buttons? Because of which I'm going now to take my laptop and see the documentation on the PiSugar 3 battery. Or wait, I don't. I have this card, which the focus won't even focus on, because I have a great focus on the camera. It focuses when it needs, but when it doesn't need to, but great, doesn't matter. Here is the battery, and here it shows that there is a button, and I see that this is a back of the battery, and this is the left side, which means this is under here, and you can see there is like an HDMI port, which means that we have here this button, and this is what we need to press. And here are also 4 LEDs, which is easy to remember. I press, and I have 3 LEDs from 4. Do we need to press and hold? Press once and hold the button. Did it start? There is like really a small problem that I don't know how to how to do this also. Press and hold? I really don't know. We will see. I will try and try and try. It seems to be aligned, so everything should be fine. Oh, it seems to work now. What I did is press once, release, and then hold the button. Actually, the same way that it said that I should do it. And let's hope that... Oh my god, it refreshes. Does that mean it works or not? Oh my god, that works. It looks so cool in real life. I have seen this a lot of times in videos, but in reality this looks gorgeous. Pretty fly for Wi-Fi. So now I'm going to connect this once more again to the computer with the right port. We will see. Now it refreshes because there is something new happening. And I want to put it refresh multiple times in seconds because as I have read, it needs to, because it's in display. It should not be for a long time, for a long period, just turned on, because there's like voltages and all of that stuff, and if it's too long for the same voltage and all that stuff, that can be bad. I don't know. I don't know anything about this, but at the same time I know something, so we'll see what we're gonna do now, because I really don't know at all. Really, I thought perhaps I will get this far. Okay, fine. How to use it is a different question, which I don't really know. And in fact, that might be or the second video, or might be this exact video, but not for me, because I will wait longer. Just know how it works. I will also need to know just how to refresh it, so how it looks, and also how to clear the image. Now we should actually be able right now then to see the configuration file, but I need firstly to connect back inside here, which means that I will need to connect here. New user for details. Okay, fine. I haven't made any password yet, so it's still Raspberry, I think. Hi, I'm a Pwnagotchi. Yep. It's kicked 0 stations, made 0 new friends, and got 0 handshakes, which is good. Which means that everything at least works as I expect it to be. It's up for 44 seconds? I don't know. Let's go then to sudo nano /etc/ Pwnagotchi config.toml. Main name is Gotchi. Whitelist, UI display enable, UI display type waveshare equals true. This is invert. Okay, fine. So the one thing which I think we can also do the add one plugin, which is for our battery, which is from PiSugar. So main plugins dot PiSugar x dot enabled equals true. Okay, and now what do we do now? Save modify. Yep, with Control X and then Y and then enter. And what do we do now? Wait, this is the thing that I noticed only now. I can go to the 10.0.0.2, the same like here, and give the 8080 port on, or just not give it, because this is the default like this. 0.0.2. And if I go to it, no, it needs actually the port. Okay, you need to specify the port with 2 dots here. If you go here, you can see your Gotchi, which is cool. We can also restart in auto mode, reboot, and shut down, because we are now in manual mode, as I understand, because I have specified what is the whitelist, what can it do, and right now I will not attack automatically anything, which is good. And I can also go here to plugins and see which plugins I have here installed. And this is really cool. Locktail, Bluetooth, QAO, buttons, ooh, GPS listener, Locktail, MemTemp, PiSugar X enabled, and try to upgrade it. We will see if it works even. It just refreshes for very long. Search for peers. I don't know what this means. I will need to learn all of that stuff really. And how to install PiSugar X. Could not be toggled. How to install PiSugar X, because I really don't know. So I think I found one thing, which is there is like a GitHub repo with improved PiSugar 3 plugin for Pwnagotchi, which should show us the battery and supports only PiSugar 3, which is the thing that I have right now. And for every single thing, it installs a little differently. So there is always README file that shows how to do everything. Now we will go to recipe/-config because we will need to enable the I2C interface, as it says at least. Display settings. What I don't know is where should I even do this? Browser logging. Performance options, advanced options. No. Where? Select interfacing options. Okay, interface options. Then I2C and then choose yes. Oh. Okay. Enable the automatic layout of I2C kernel. What is I2C kernel? Yep, enable that. I2C, because I think, yeah, our battery is I2C, but we will see. I2C, we will see. Detect the I2C bus and devices by running the following commands. I2C detect -y1 command not found. I2C. And dump, I don't have it too. Okay. Run the following command to install PiSugar Power Manager. Okay. HTTP cdn-PiSugar. What happened? Connection reset. Wait. Now we are back, I guess. And now we will do passwd, changing password for it. Password changed. Unchanged. Wait, what? Maybe because I'm not running it as sudo, which could be. Yeah, it was the issue, actually. I don't see the I2C detect or anything. This serial device has been detected. Wait, what? If we go even again, advanced options. No, it's not advanced, it's interface. I2C. Yeah, it is enabled. Fine. I will take some time and just learn about all of this stuff because there's a lot I don't know about this, but this is really cool. At least we have this working. Perhaps it will be that this will be just the first video, at least just the setup of Pwnagotchi, because I think this will be too long, really. And the whole year I will only edit this single video, which will be also then crazy. So yeah, I'll turn this off for now. And yeah, that's really cool. So thank you for watching this video. Yeah, thank you very much and goodbye. Bye.